What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday and the market is down bigger than usual, I guess. Haven't seen a red day this big in quite some time, at least starting the market. So unless a breakout is perfect, use trailing stops. Don't waste your time on a trade that isn't perfect. It needs to have big volume and big movement. Just because it trades 100,000 shares in 1 minute and moves 2 cents, that doesn't really mean anything. That's nothing special. If it's not a clean breakout, do you really want to be in it for a long time or even at all? Make sure I'm usually using visualization tactics. I'm visualizing clicking the button when I need to be clicking the button. Anticipate the moves. Don't forget about anticipating, because I know what I used to do is hop in a little bit early and start saving myself some pennies. I know lately I've been just using or just hopping in right around the whole number. If I write it down, it is reviewable. I can go over it towards the end of the day. Make sure I'm looking for large wicks on the daily chart. Those also act as big support and resistance marks. Check the last earnings, even for the industry and sector leader. If you write it down, oh, I already said that one. So whenever I go back over those, I need to ask myself, what was I thinking whenever I didn't take that trade? Why didn't I take that trade? What happened next? How can I study this better? And what were things telling me during that situation? On breakouts, buying at the bottom of a range gives you a very nice risk reward. Stop loss is close and the reward is big. So if I see any walls, instead of buying at the top of the range, which is usually the whole number, I can start thinking about getting in a little more closer to the bottom of the range, making my starting off with a smaller size and then scaling in if it starts moving up again. Daily is important on gaps and it needs room to move. So I'm looking at Disney here. Obviously having a huge run up now, but it looks really good down here for a gap and go straight down. But right now, and unless it starts moving down, I mean, anything could happen here. But Disney is ending their agreement with Netflix, and they're starting their own streaming service. Their earnings was okay, and they're buying this 1.58 billion majority stake in BAM Tech. I think that was for the streaming service. Also looking at MYL here, probably for just a gap trade, maybe a pullback at the open and then take it underneath that. The earnings definitely not great here, and same here. I got a couple of long plays that I'm looking at. I got Light again, decent earnings. They missed their sales though. That's a big mover. You can see there's $4 in between all of this, so I mean we'll have to see what happens with it. But Disney's going to be the main player for now. I was also looking at HR, but something was funny with their earnings. It's saying it came out with it today or yesterday after the close, but they really came out with it on the 2nd. So I don't really know what this is. Oh, this isn't even the HR. This is Oxygen Therapeutics. I don't know why that's popping up in here, but I guess has something to do with HR. But we got 30 seconds here. I want to make sure I'm ready here. Alright, see what happens today. Risk reward's way too big right now to even think about hopping in this early, so still it's pretty big as it's acting now too. SPY is dropping even more. Disney's just making a huge move right now. WB is crashing. The Chinese internet stocks that were doing all that yesterday aren't doing it anymore. I know Baidu's down. Each one of them's down. We're making our way here. If I took this trade, I would not want my risk to be that much though. That's too much. See, Netflix is also dropping. Disney's a little too spread out for me. I don't think I'm gonna end up taking it. MYL started with a red candle. Probably not taking that either. Would like to see what Disney does though. SPY's getting ready to move. Got an inside candle here. That's kind of interesting. Netflix just had a huge squeeze up. Yeah, there ain't too much selling going on. Well, MIL just broke out here. SPY's moving up right now. Doesn't look like I'm gonna have any trades just yet. Nope. And nope. Okay, no trades this morning. I'll pop it back on if I find something later. Okay, I'm hopping in EVH here. As soon as I get filled, I guess. Trying to get in, looking for the break of under 19 here. Trying to get in just a little bit early. I don't know. Check it out. It's meeting. They're both at 1905. I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll get in here in a second though. I'm gonna make sure I get in at 1905 here. Put in a limit order. Okay, I'm in at 10. Alright, got me at 10. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Stop loss will be at 20. I guess it'll have to be 25. This needs to be a market. Looking for the break of under 19, obviously. And I guess we're gonna go up to 25. Yep, we're there. Alright, well, quick $37 loss. Was looking at it, trying to catch the early entry, and obviously it didn't work out. See if it comes back down, because this 25 is a good support too. And then we got the VWAP at 30. Had bad earnings yesterday. see crashed down pretty hard here, but the only thing I'm kind of worried about is what's going to happen around this 19 area, because I see there's a lot of buyers in there, and I made the stock shoot up and it couldn't break any lower. I think this time's a little bit different around because we're gapping down really hard, and again the same today.
NDO.
Looks like we're heading right back down. I will take it again if it gets to 19. I mean, level 2 looks amazing right now. Alright, we're in 19. Again, not getting filled. I don't know why I'm not getting filled on a market order. And all these transactions are going on, but I'm just not getting filled. Looks like it's getting ready to break here. The volume's growing. Tip's moving fast. Alright, I got filled at 3, so
NDO.
I'll take it. Market's starting to turn around here. Sectors turning around. Industry leaders turning around. We're looking pretty good here. Almost had the break there. Snap down. I got one transaction underneath 19.
NDO. Alright, let's go starting to move here. As soon as the ass gets underneath. There's no reason to let this run that far against me. Because if that's a break, then it didn't do anything. We got view up support now. Resistance anyway. SPY's really running down. Looks kind of like a retest here. Let's see what it does. I think there's a hidden seller at 20. I think that's why all these orders are coming in.
Basie 80. Basie 80.
Yeah, he's still there. And I'm out. Alright, finishing 2 trades, minus 40 bucks. So that's not great. Let's see. Looking at Z here. 7 put.
sure what's going on, but it looks pretty good under this 43 right now. Gotta check some stuff pretty quick here. Tech information provider, sluggish guidance. It's looking pretty good from the volume here. I'd like to see a bounce because I don't want to have a whole dollar stop loss here. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to see a bounce first. And that's not much of a bounce there. So we got some hidden buyers there too. Oh no, we broke under for a second.
Base 80. PAA. PAA.
Well underneath the pre-market. Could put 200 shares for a stop loss at 25, but I really want to see some volume come into it. See, we got a little trend line here. This is the breaking point right now. Looks really good on the fives. Yeah. still would not mind seeing the bounce here. In fact, that's really what I should wait for. Because it is just hovering around this 43 area. Wouldn't be surprised to see a short squeeze, a small pop, and then if it comes back down, that's definitely a good sign.
Safety 80.
Alright, well, I'm going to turn this off for now. If it has a pop-up and comes back down, I'll throw it back on because I'll be hopping in. Alright, Z did what I thought it might do here. It popped up, hit the 30, hit this little trend line here, and it's starting to move back down. I'll hop in on it if it gets to 43. Got up to 30 cents here, and it hit this trend line perfectly. We're starting to move back down again, so definitely liking the setup, liking the action. Spread's a little big. Don't like that.
FGN.
$0.30 definitely shouldn't be a problem for this stock to be moving that far.
FGN.
This turns around here pretty quick here. Probably shouldn't take it. Still hasn't broken it. Okay, not taking it anymore. Volume's dying out. Probably a good idea to skip it. Okay, I'm looking at FGen here, and it's got a formation that I've really never seen before. So it's got a reversal going on.
IPXL.
I had really good drug information coming out today, and I believe it might have been earnings yesterday. Let's see, FGen 64, wider than expected loss, but top line results from the Pamrevlumab and some fibrosis. So, looks like it's getting ready to break here. It's gonna have a 30-cent stop loss here, and it is a biotech company, and biotech is rising pretty hard right now. The market's moving up too. Everything's looking pretty good for this trade. It's got a tightening range. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take it. I'm in 150 shares at 47. My stop loss is gonna be at 70. Not a segment. One extended. I want that. You can see it's got the 3 doji down. It was popping up on my scanner too. Three big red down, and then now it's struggling to get over this 47 mark here. You can see the volume's growing around the area.
IPXL.
Fives, it's all tightening. The green bars here definitely looks good. Ooh.
L.
Looks like I pulled back here. Let's see what it does. I know it's been bouncing off of this 75 a bunch of times. No volume and it's pulling back that much. Alright, I might be moving back up here.
L.
Jesus. Okay, I'm obviously going to be done for the day. Either triple digit loss or 3 losing trades and I'm done, and I got both of them, so just a quick review. Looking at EVH, I wrote down that it was looking like it was bouncing off the 19. It was coming back and the volume looked good. You can see on the daily here that underneath the 19 it's got a bunch of support here, but I figured because it had such a huge gap down that this might not be that important anymore, I guess. Plus I know the level 2 at the time was always looking good and there was really no issues with that whatsoever, but the 19 I believe there was a hidden buyer, as there usually is whenever stuff looks like this. So hopped in the first time at 05 trying to get the early entry, immediately reversed on me and stopped me out. Came back again, got in at 03, ended up breaking underneath for a quick second here. No volume, obviously. Decided to put a trailing stop in. Ended up just running up against me, stopping me out again, up at 19.25. Ended up losing $70 total on this trade. I guess what can I take away from this is probably just the daily. I mean, even you can see after it broke underneath 19 twice, it came right back up. Especially this candle here has got a big wick on it. I mean, it shot up off of 19. This one still ended up closing above 19 here. So I guess that's something I need to pay attention to in the future, is if there's, you know, daily resistance. If there's daily resistance, it's not, or support, it's not an A+ setup, so I obviously shouldn't be taking it. Did have good news though, a couple days ago anyway. I guess it doesn't really apply to today, but the overall sentiment obviously was negative. Second trade that I took was FGen. Popped up on my scanners for a bottom reversal. Everything looks pretty good on this one. Came out with really good news the other day. Had an earnings the other day. Stocks are higher, shares plummet. Actually had a bad earnings the close after this 7 here, so even though it had bad earnings, it still shot up, probably because of the drug news here. You can see top line results and whatnot. Figured it still looked good. Even the overall sentiment from, you know, the past year or so is still good. I mean, the stock's never been up that high before. Looking at the 15s, it was making a doji right here, and on the 1s, it was really struggling to break over this 47. It was making a very nice trend line here. Wanted to hop in on it. I ended up hopping in on this candle. To lie, I hopped in on this candle here, which, after looking at these couple of green candles here, and really just the overall volume, I guess. You know, 20,000 shares really is not that much. I mean, the setup looked great. It was just the volume wasn't spectacular. You know, again, I guess it's just an A setup. It's just not an A plus setup. But I really like the way things were looking. Obviously, looking back, maybe I should have not taken it because the volume on these candles wasn't that big, especially since I just hopped in off of this candle here, where, you know, there was really no interest at all for this thing to break over 47, but still had my hopes up. Had a nice trend line, tightening range, reversal. I mean, it was a combination of two of my setups, so I wanted to take that chance, because I know whenever, I think it was called confluence, you know, whenever there's two intersecting points of either resistance, support, figure maybe the same could go for my setups, you know, both of my setups combined like that. Probably could have been something special, obviously not. Ended up turning around against me. Put in a stop order at 70, didn't matter, shot straight through it, ended up getting me out at
MDCO
60 for a nice $60 loser. Finishing the day down 128. As for the other stocks that I was looking at today, I was looking at MYL at the open for a gap trade. Didn't really do anything that I liked. The big player today was Disney. Again, didn't do anything that I liked. The opening candle was way too big for me to really like anything that I saw in it, so I just decided to avoid it. I was looking at Z as well for a break of under 43 here. And also on the daily, you know, it's got the, again, it's got a little bit of support underneath this 43, and it was kind of the same situation really as that EVH. See on the 5s, it had a really nice move down, nice bounce off of the 43 area, and it came right back again off a big volume. Kind of forming some dojis here. You can see I had to squeeze up again. I wrote down, it was a good setup. I needed to see a bounce. I saw the bounce here, a little mini short squeeze, I guess, getting all these players out. And I wanted to see it come back again with a little more conviction. And it started coming back, but, you know, on this candle here, the volume was dead. Nothing. Started running back up again. I probably should have said no as soon as I saw this candle here because of the volume. There's really no interest for it to keep moving down, but I know in some cases, some stocks will, you know, they'll have those one or two candles where there's no volume, and then once it does reach that whole number level, it'll still break through, and the big volume will come in. But again, it's not an A plus setup. If it doesn't have the candle, if it doesn't have the candles with a big volume, it's not an A plus setup. Even though the setup looks good, price action looks good, if the volume isn't there, it is not an A plus setup, and I should just avoid it. Saw the bounce, went right back down. The volume was dead, and then there was no more continuation, so I just decided to avoid it. Hopped out, didn't like it. Bunch of reversals popping up on my scanner, but I mean, nothing really looked good to even take a look at. So, well, then again, I learned yesterday that even though it doesn't look good, I should still review it, look over it, see what happened next, where can I study this, and what were things telling me, why did I not take it. Guys, looking at IPXL right now. I have to see a little bit more on it to see what else it would do. VSAT here, still in the process of making those, the doji followed by, or the three big red candles followed by the doji. Looking at EL. EL's actually looking a little bit better here, but obviously too late. Wow, look at that move. Really quick pullback there, and then pull down, big pullback up, and pulled right back down again off that huge volume. That's an interesting setup here. After seeing that many shares come in short, that's kind of a I'd say that's a pretty good indicator to really hop in on it, to see that much volume coming in like that. That's not too bad, but I don't like the daily. Definitely don't like the daily for a reversal here. Yeah, I probably would have avoided that one just because the daily's strong enough. I would have said, nah, I probably shouldn't take it, but stock ended up making a nice move anyway. You can see there's no buyers after that. No buyers after that big candle, so everyone just kind of dipped out, didn't want to take it anymore. See, it looks like MKC was popping up. I don't think I had a chance to take a look at this one. Couple of candles here. Looks like it might be starting to turn around now. Not too much to really talk about. There was a CAD. Doesn't really look like it moved too much. It's got a pretty good formation here. You can see it's starting to turn around, it looks like. 10s are moving, 5s are moving. Probably would want to take it short underneath this here. Have a look at the daily though. Daily's not bad. I had a big gap up though today on better than expected earnings. Much better than expected earnings, you know, saving 20 cents on the loss. Plus 10 million shares, so it's got a reason to be up. I would want to avoid that one. And then NVO was also a player today. 3 candles up. See, on the daily here was that. It doesn't look too bad. Might be starting to make a move now though. Let's see, it failed to move higher here. I probably would have wanted to hop in right about here, but it still doesn't look too bad. It might be consolidating a little bit too much for me here. The 5-minute volume looks like it's dying out for sure. I probably should have avoided that one. So that's all I got for the review session. Just really gotta make sure I'm taking the best setups. Definitely in a pretty big hole this week, so just gotta come back ready to go. Take the good setups. Don't get too discouraged. But I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.